I would like to mention two important things quickly. First thing is the Department of State has mentioned about the immigrant visa, pause for an immigrant visa.
Yeah, it's a kind of
For
pause,
the
not a kind
immigrants
of
from
ban.
these 75 countries. Hello everyone. आज हम एक bright young scientist डॉक्टर मोहम्मद अहमद साहब के साथ उनकी सक्सेस स्टोरीज के बारे में पर्टिकुलरली NIW EB-2 एंड EB-1A both के बारे में बात करेंगे. डॉक्टर मोहम्मद अहमद रावियन कायदियन एंड फुल ब्राइट फेलो हैं एंड यहाँ पर यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ एजुकेशन लाहौर में इस वक्त एज एन असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर वर्क कर रहे हैं. अस्सलाम वालेकुम डॉक्टर साहब.
Walaikum salam, Doctor. Thank you very much for a very nice introduction, and thank you very much for giving me opportunity to talk to your audience and to talk to you as well.
You're welcome. कैसे हैं आप?
जी अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह, अल्लाह ताला का बहुत शुक्र है.
ठीक है. मैं मुख्तसर सा चाहूँगा आप खुद भी अपने आप का जो यूएससी का फुल ब्राइट का जो जर्नी है कुछ उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए. देन वी विल switch to NIW EB-2 and EB-1A.
Thank you, Doctor. First of all, I would like to tell very briefly about my education career. So I have done my BSc from Government College University. That's with you. You were my batchmate. So that's with distinction. And then I moved to Islamabad and I did my MSc and MPhil from Qaid University, Islamabad. And after doing my MPhil from Qaid University, that's also with distinctions. I secured 2 certificates of merit from this university as well. So then I started doing job as a scientific officer at Pakistan Nuclear Regulatory Authority. So meanwhile, I was working as a scientific officer at PNRA. I got an opportunity to go to USA on Fulbright scholarship. So I opted this opportunity and I started my PhD program in fall 2014 at Michigan State University, where I completed my coursework and I served there as a teaching assistant and research assistant. And during the spring semester of 2017, along with my research group, I moved to the University of Notre Dame, where I completed rest of my research project, and I defended my PhD in 2020. And because I was a Fulbright fellow, so I was supposed to return to Pakistan after completion of my PhD. So I came back and started doing job here at University of Education.
I appreciate it. Great. So if we talk about your journey about NIW EB-2, how would you like to describe it?
Doctor, actually, I would give the credit of this success to you and your dedicated team. So credit goes to you because it involves a lot of effort by you and your team as well. So actually, I was not familiar with this program, with this, EB-2 NIW kind of thing. When I came back to Pakistan, so you contacted me when, like, I talked to you. You told me about the possibility of returning to USA on EB-2 NIW. So then I started searching about this thing. So then I came into contact with you and I started working with you, and the credit goes to you and your team because you were just like working very closely with me, and you were just like going through each and every letter, each and every line, and each and every criterion, each and every prong. So you worked really hard and I really appreciate it, and we prepared, I think, a kind of very nice a petition. And when we dispatched it, unfortunately, because I applied on the premium basis, and sometimes the RFEs which we get are kind of time buying RFEs. So unfortunately, we got RFE, and we were stunned, and we were like stunned at this thing. Why did we get this RFE despite of having this much strong profile, and because of having this much strong petition, and because of having the applications of my work for the US interest and US paper? So why did we get RFE? But still, we did not panic, and we started working on the RFE. And in November 2024, we got an RFE and we started working on it. And then we sent reply to this RFE to USCIS in January 2025. And then the clock started again.
Yeah,
And yeah, it's 45 days clock. It started again. And in February, at the end of February, we got our EB-2 NIW approved, and I was really happy. I was just like, I was just like, I got up at that night and just checked my emails and got RFE. You like told me no need to panic. I didn't, and like I think that was the kind of worrisome for all of us, but for you, for you, for your team, and for myself as well. But still, we started working on it, and we prepared a very detailed response, very effective response. We like answered and replied to each and every concern that were raised by the USCIS officer.
Yeah.
And the way we prepared the reply, the way we prepared the response to the RFE, it was really, impressive. So again, I would like to say that the credit goes to you and your team, because you were working very closely with me, and you were asking for different kind of evidences, and then you were like too much involved in that. Like you were going through the different projects I worked on. You were going through a different kind of research papers I even published. Even you were citing the acknowledgements, but that was a kind of very impressive response that you prepared. So again, credit goes to you.
Thank you so much. So, I would like to mention that when you submitted the application, you probably had 600 or approximately 700 citations.
At that time, I had 700 citations. Now, at this time, I have like 1400 citations, something like that.
So, research area, a number of publications, number of citations, and a PhD from USA, a lot of positive things on your profile.
So that's why we were stunned.
Sure, yeah, we were stunned that still we got an RFE, but later we managed it well. And then Dr. Ahmad planned to file EB-1A, got an approval without any RFE on premium processing, and from Texas Center. Both of the cases.
Both the cases were approved by the Texas Service Center. Yep.
Yeah.
So this is a question that I was being asked by many of my friends and many other people who are interested to file EB-1A, or either EB-1A or EB-2 NIW. So this is a very important question, that why did I go for EB-1A when I had my EB-2 NIW petition approved already? So the answer to this is that the backlog is the answer to this. Because of EB-2 NIW, though I had an approved EB-2 NIW petition, there is a lot of backlog. So I had to wait a lot to become my priority date to become current. So even then, there is, apprehension that we could face some kind of retrogression. So this was another fear that was somewhere in my mind, that because in past this thing has happened, that we had faced kind of retrogressions in the case of EB-2 and NIW petitions. So so I kept it as a kind of as a backup plan for EB-2 and NIW. And then when I felt that my profile is strong enough that I will be able to fight for EB-1A as well, so then I talked with Dr. Sagir about EB-1A. So other thing is that the charges that SUSI experts, they charge you, the dues that they charge you for preparing the petition, they are very reasonable. So no one even was agreed to file my EB-1A petition within that amount I had. But Dr. Sagir, because of this reasonable amount he offered me in the contract, I was able to file my EB-1A petition as well. So that's again, I applied on a premium basis. So we hit different criteria. First of all, we hit the criteria: lesser nationally, internationally recognized prizes, and then original contributions, authorship of scholarly articles, and then higher salary,
As a judge.
and as judge of the work of others. So these are the 5 criteria we targeted, and fortunately this time we did not get any RFE, and within 14 working days we got our EB-1A petition approved. But this time Dr. Sagir had put again had put a lot of effort in the preparation of the initial petition. So credit goes again to him and his dedicated team, that this time we got EB-1A approved without getting any kind of RFE. So but then after getting an approval, we started working on preparation of my civil documents. I started obtaining civil document, because Dr. Sagir had already informed me that you will be in need of these kind of civil documents to apply for your DQ date. So once I got approval, then under the assistance, under the help of Dr. Sagir and his team, I applied my DS-260 form, and once I got my DQ date. So again, these things happen very promptly, very smoothly, and it's because of Dr. Sagir and his team.
So I would like to mention here that it's about, from the conversation, people can realize, despite of having a really good profile, it really depends how we present. First thing. Second thing is very obvious, that what kind of immigration officer, USCIS officer, we are gonna, like, our petition is gonna be sent. And sometimes it happens that while we submitted 2 applications, one for Dr. Mohammed Ahmed and for another female scientist
That
who just had got 60 citations,
Yep.
but she was lucky enough to get an approval on prima basis without any RFE.
Yeah. Her
Time for
some
EB-1A,
Yep.
your application was accepted by Texas Center
Texas Service Center again
without any
without an
RFE.
RFE.
Yes.
So the purpose of saying this is that much depends on the person who is adjudicating your petition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the purpose of saying this.
Yeah.
So
So the first thing is how we present the case, how we sell ourselves. First thing. Second thing is, as Dr. Ahmad mentioned, the officer, it depends on the nature of the officer, the way he adjudicate your application. So now we're really glad that Dr. Ahmad has done all the processes. Like the first thing, approval of the petition form I-140. Second thing, he's got DQ for his immigrant visa processing application, and now he's just awaited to get an interview letter from the American embassy. So here I would like to mention, as of the current situation, people are like sometimes like the people might have get some panic maybe, but the situation is there is not a single consolidated list of countries provided yet. The list of countries of 75 countries that is provided is being reviewed by the Department of State. So once they would have finalized the list, it depends what they're going to do then. I would like to mention two important things quickly. First thing is the Department of State has mentioned about the immigrant visa pause for an immigrant visa.
yeah, it's a kind of pause,
For
not a kind
applicants
of
from
ban.
these 75 countries, high risk countries. So first thing is there are 5 different categories of immigrant visas, and there are 20 plus classification for those immigrant visa categories. One of them is family sponsored category, family based immigration. USCIS provides 226,000 immigrant visas to family sponsor through family sponsored category,
Exactly.
and 140,000 at least through employment based category. Then there is special immigrant visa category. There is a visa category that is for asylum seekers or for refugees. And for further these, they have further classifications. And they like for EB category, employment based category, there are further 5 categories: EB-1, EB-2, EB-3, 4, and 5.
Exactly.
So first thing is, it's not very much clear which category is going to be hit on a major, like as a major thing, first thing, and which countries would be kept on a like full travel ban or partial travel ban. I would like to call before in interrupt here. They have done this thing before. They put a ban on 7 countries for immigrant visas, including Iran. But when Joe Biden came into office on 20th January
He
2021,
overturned this.
yeah, he revoked this order, and the Iranians, they have got green cards, and people belonging to that list. So it's people who are going to file Form I-140, like if they're going to start this application process, they should take it normal. They should go for filing. Once their applications are approved, then time would come for filing immigrant visa applications. The third step would be interviews. Department of State has mentioned that American embassies or consulate would be accepting applications for immigrant visa processing. They would be conducting interviews. Only the visa stamping, we would say visa
Yeah,
stamping,
visa
has been
stamping. That's
paused
the process.
until
That's the
there is
process.
a final
Yep.
policy
Yep.
is issued.
Yep.
Is it so?
Yep.
I believe you're also much aware.
Yeah, yes, Doctor. Sahab,
You're
first of
keeping
all,
an eye on
yeah,
that.
yeah, Doctor. Sahab, I would like to say this is not a kind of ban. It's just a kind of temporary pause,
Yeah.
and because this thing has, come through proper legislation through legislation of Congress, so they will have to go to the Congress again to revoke all these things.
Yeah.
So it's not easy. It's a very tough thing for the Trump administration to do that. So I would say that there is no need to panic. Just stay positive and wait for the Department of State to review all these policies that are governing these immigrant visas. So once they review these policies and they come up with the solid solid process through which they will make it almost impossible for those who are abusing the welfare system in the United
Yeah.
States, they come up with these policies, and definitely they will lift the pause that they have currently put on the immigrant visas. Other thing which I personally feel is that for EB-2 NIW and EB-1A people, they don't have to worry. because because USCIS has already established their their authority. They have accepted them as a kind of talented people who are beneficial for the United States of
Yeah.
America. So this, I think, for the EB-1A and EB-2 people, there's no they should not panic and they should not worry much about this. Just wait for, I think, within a month or so, I think there will be some positive news. I don't know how long will this pause remain effective, but I think it will be lifted very soon.
Yeah, let's hope for the best only. I would like to thank you very much, Dr. Ahmad. Best wishes for your future journey in USA, and let's wait for the good news about your
Interview letter.
interview lecture.